Okay, ladies and gents, so obviously now let me do my preview for the Poland and the France game in the round of 16 at the World Cup. That's right, Poland, obviously, they finally are in the knockouts, but I guess you could say that Poland, they could be one and done in the knockouts because obviously Poland here, they are playing the defending World Cup champions in France, and obviously you look at France, man, their football team is way ahead of Poland's football team. That's one thing for sure, and I feel like that this is going to be possibly the biggest mismatch I've ever probably will witness at a World Cup tournament. You know, I mean, there is no exception or no excuses for this game if Poland loses because obviously, man, Poland's football team, man, outside of Lewandowski, they have a bunch of average players. You know, the other players, minus obviously, well, I will say besides Lewandowski and Szczesny, the other players are either mid or average at best because I hate to say it, man, but you know, here's the thing with Lewandowski carrying the Poland national team. You know, obviously, simply having him isn't enough. Okay, he's just one player, and I already knew that. Especially after the 2018 World Cup. And you know, for Poland in this game, the real question is how will Poland even have a chance against France? Because obviously, you know, I imagine France, they're probably most likely going to win this game by, I will say, 3 goals. Okay, I imagine France are probably going to have a big day against Poland's defense if Poland's defense doesn't play all that well. Because even against Argentina at times, Poland's defending looked really mediocre. And against France, man, this is just going to be one of those games that seems like it's going to be either France win by a comfortable margin, by a big, massive margin against Poland, or Poland has a very, very slim chance of pulling off an upset here against France. Because here's the thing, man, you know, you look at France's football team, that team is absolutely deadly on the counter. I mean, seriously, facing Mbappe on the counter is just an absolute, I guess, big, difficult task for any opposing defender, especially if you consider the talent of Mbappe, man. He's arguably you could say has been the best performer at the World Cup so far. Now out of all the players, call me biased, but I will have to say though that Mbappe, man, that guy is unreal. I mean, if Mbappe continues his incredible form, then he could break Miroslav Klose and Ronaldo's all-time World Cup goal-scoring record, and I'm not even capping, man. Mbappe, he is a special kind of talent. Seriously, Mbappe, special kind of talent that you just gotta really have a big, massive amount of admiration for that. You know, when it comes to the whole Ronaldo-Messi debate, listen, man, for me, obviously, when it came to that whole thing, I always was, I guess you could say, in the middle between the Messi and Ronaldo debate when I was growing up watching football. But I guess you could say that now, for me, the future GOAT of football is Mbappe. I know I sound biased as hell, but man, you just can't help but realize, man, that the talent and the energy that Mbappe has brought to the France national team, especially these last 4 years, has completely changed the way how, I guess, France play football. Because obviously France, man, they got a special gift by being able to find the talent of Mbappe. Like, you know, prior to the 2018 World Cup, I kind of had a feeling that France were going to win the entire tournament just because, you know, you look at France's depth squad in 2018, man, that team, oh man, that freaking team had all the depth and talent in the world, and just adding Mbappe to the mix there, I feel like practically almost guaranteed France were going to win that 2018 World Cup, even prior to that whole tournament. That it makes me realize here, don't be surprised if France by some miracle, by some freaking miracle here, repeat as World Cup champions, because I still have Brazil winning the whole tournament. But man, if France were to go all the way and win back-to-back World Cups like how the US women's national team did, then I guess you could say that France would be considered possibly the greatest football team of the I guess you could say of the 2000 and, well, it's hard to say because, you know, there's Spain and all that, but France, man, they would be definitely up there with 2008 and 2012 Spain if France, by some flippin' miracle, managed to get a W at the managed to win the whole World Cup again. Because, you know, hey, despite France not having Pogba, Benzema, you know, key players in the squad, I still think France have what it takes to potentially repeat as World Cup champions. That's what I'm trying to say. I still think France have what it takes to be a potential repeater, but of course, it's going to be tough to say. But obviously, for Poland heading into this game, I imagine it's going to be the same old story with the Poland national team. Michniewicz just playing the Poland national team just playing the same old lame park the bus FC football. You know, no attractive attacking style of playing like how France do, like how Brazil do, like how Spain do, like how England do. You know, obviously Poland, if you compare them with those nations, if you compare their football team with those nations' football teams, you know, those nations obviously have talent and quality, while Poland, outside of Lewandowski and Szczesny, there really is no world-class talent and or world-class quality, and that's the thing that I feel like is holding this Poland team back from reaching their full potential. Because, you know, you go back all the way to Euro 2016, Poland, super amazing under Nawalka. Talent was there, you know, it wasn't just Lewandowski. They also had Poznan, Piszczek, Blaszczykowski, so they had a lot of key players. And unfortunately, you know, besides Lewandowski, those other key players that I just mentioned, they're not on the team anymore, and it's probably going to be quite a while before Poland will probably ever reach that level again, like how they did it in 2016 under Nawalka. So this is what it brings me to here. So for Poland, man, the only thing Poland needs to do is just to stay really, really focused, and I mean really super focused, because if they let their guard down against France, especially against Mbappe on the counterattack, man, it's going to be a long day for Poland. Like, you know, it could be like, I don't mean to sound harsh, but that game could end just as like how the Germany-Brazil game did in 2014. And I'm not even exaggerating when I'm saying that game, it could end like Germany-Brazil 2014. You know, when Germany, you know, we're up 5-0 against Brazil at halftime. Yeah, that's what could happen to Poland's national team, you know. So this is the crazy part about, you know, Poland, you know, being paired up in this round of 16 matchup against France, is that it kind of reminds me of that Germany-Brazil game. So obviously, if Poland are not careful enough on defense, then don't be surprised if France lead 5-0 against Poland by halftime. I'm not kidding, man. I'm sorry, I'm not even kidding, because obviously Euro 2016, man, I think that Euro 2016 Poland squad had a way better shot of, I guess you could say, of being able to play if they were to if they got matched up against France in the Euro 2016 final. I think that Poland team had a way better chance of beating France than this current Poland team, because it's going to take an absolute miracle for Poland to get a win here over France. I hate to say this, man, but you look at the Poland national team, you know, they just play Park the Bus FC, and if Poland just continues to play all defensively, especially against France's front attack, then eventually Poland's defense will just get extremely worn out to the point where France will just absolutely just, you know, be scoring goals left and right on Poland, because that's what I really imagine is going to happen in this game, because I don't see how Poland are going to beat France here. I freaking don't. I have no clue, unless maybe defense by some miracle finds a way how to contain Mbappe and France's front attack. Unless they can do that, otherwise I really don't think Poland has a chance at all. They don't. They just don't. And, you know, obviously, for Poland, man, you know, when it comes to them scouting and farming for a football talent, obviously, you have to consider the Polish league. It's not as prestigious, or as, I guess you could say, as it's not as good as producing, in terms of producing talent of quality, or quality talent, much like how the other leagues are, like the Bundesliga, Premier League, even the French league. You know, those leagues, they obviously know what it takes. They obviously know how to find and scout for talent. While Poland, on the other hand, you know, usually if you compare Poland's football team with like France's football team, Spain's football team, England's football team, even the Netherlands or Italy's football team, you know, obviously those footballing nations have a way better system of being able to farm and scout for talent. Heck, I'll even add Germany to the mix. You know, those nations have a way better just scouting system than I guess you could say how Poland's football team does, because our scouting isn't really that good. You know, I guess you could say it takes us usually on average about every 10 years for us to maybe even find a world-class player, especially a player of Lewandowski's talent. It takes us, you know, on average 10 years just to do that, while obviously for those other nations it takes them usually on average 2 years just for them to be able to find some talent that can, you know, make an impact on their national teams. And that's why those teams have always been ahead of Poland in football. So for Poland, man, it's going to be a difficult task, you know, but the way how I see it, man, if Poland by some miracle plays super good defensively, they find out a way how to contain Mbappe, find out a way how to, you know, not give France any space inside their own half, then yeah, maybe Poland has a chance against France. But besides that, I don't think Poland has a chance against France at all. If I'm being honest here, my prediction, I'm saying 3-0 for France. Call me crazy, but I don't think Poland are going to beat France. I don't think so. I don't see it happening at all. So that's my honest opinion on this. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and oh boy, can't wait for this game.